Hello, my name is Danielle Kilcullen. I am the founder of Exploring the Wonder Years, and today I am here with Natalia and Jackie talking about small business ownership. So we're going to talk about all things small business leadership, vision, strengths of their small businesses, challenges and goals. So let's jump in. Natalia and Jackie, tell us everything: your company name, how people can find you, and your target audience. Jackie, we'll start with you.
My name is Jacqueline Elfe. I am located in Murray Hill in the city. I own a floral design and event design business. And I can be found via website or Instagram. You can Google me as well. I'm on Google, so I am available for everybody.
That's great. When you think of your small business, Jackie, who would you say your people are? Who's your audience?
Wow, that's like a good question because I've reached a lot of different industries in terms of interior designers, fashion designers, the people of the world. You know, they come to me for flowers. I get a lot of hits from Instagram. So I'm really the person that I produce florals to that floral lover, that floral connoisseur, someone that loves flowers and they know the impact it gives to the recipient when they receive flowers.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Natalia, tell us about you, where people can find you, and also your target audience.
Yeah, so my name is Natalia Gomez. I'm a freelance graphic and web designer. I can be reached at my website, www.nataliagomez-creative.com. And my target audience is primarily small businesses.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. I will also add all of Natalia and Jackie's contact info in the details and the description on the YouTube channel. So first question, what is your vision or mission or the mission of your company, and what fuels your work? Why do you get up every morning to do the work that you're doing? Jackie, we can start with you.
Because I love it. I love it. There's nothing better than like waking up. You know, every day is a different day, a different vibration you feel within yourself. And I work on waking up and feeling gratitude. So for me, it's a beautiful thing to get up and go to the market, go source flowers for my clients, source flowers for the shop. And just the beauty within it all is what keeps me going, especially when I know that I'm working on a particular project and how excited I am about it, and that I'm going to deliver what they're asking for. So that's just like a blessing within itself, just having passion, loving what you're doing, and just knowing you're going to touch lives every day is just a wonderful thing.
That's beautiful. Yes, yes. In the service of others is really important, and especially during this time in the pandemic that we're currently living in.
Yes.
Natalia, what about you?
Well, for me, my mission and passion is to help small businesses grow, as I mentioned, to create a unique, well-designed, user-friendly website that is suitable for my clients' business needs, one that reflects their brand identity and speaks to their clientele. And for me, you know, it's really, really important. And I get so much joy when a client comes to me needing a website or needing a logo or whatever project that they need, that I can just deliver exactly what they were looking for, not even knowing, you know?
That's the best.
And I think there's some commonality definitely in what you both have shared. You know, maybe you don't always know the recipient or the audience, right? Or who's going to receive your product or see your product, but you're both thinking about others as you're producing and creating, which is really great. Okay, so let's talk about what your business or your company looked like before the pandemic. And Natalia, I know that your business was created during the pandemic.
Yes.
So feel free to speak to that. And we'll start with you, Natalia.
Right. Well, before the pandemic, my company was non-existent. Graphic and web design has always been a passion of mine. I went to school for it. I got my degrees, but it was mainly something I did on the side or, as a hobby. But, as you mentioned, during the pandemic is when it really started. So, it's been a tough year. And like many, I was experiencing a huge amount of uncertainty. And that led many, including myself, to start a new business venture and to seek out a new career path. And that's where the business started.
Thank you. Jackie, what about you?
So for me, I've been in business since 2007. And I actually acquired my store during the pandemic. So I signed my lease on my birthday, which was March 7th, 2020. Thank you. Mind you, the world stopped. I want to say a week afterwards. So I came back into the shop in June. I did do a few things like from home because it was so crazy just to see how shipment of flowers were not coming through. Everything was at a standstill, the whole event industry. I also teach. I'm an educator for online students for event design and floral design. So I still was able to stay afloat. My students were home, so they were banging out those projects. And then most people that knew that I did flowers, when I was able to get flowers, I want to say. So it was like March, maybe May, we were able to get flowers here and there. The pricing was a lot different, but I was like very blessed to be able to still touch lives either through education or florals. And I have a great landlord, so I can't complain about that. And I did some tutorials at home, which I thought were very good and well received in terms of showing people how to do floral design, because a lot of people were buying flowers from Trader Joe's, like all the mass markets were really making a killing with their little mixed bouquets, but they were like common flowers like roses and lilies and things like that. But a lot of people that's the way they would bring joy into their home during this crisis of just some type of happiness for them to look forward to with all the chaos that was going on around us.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you both for sharing that. When you think about the past 15 months or so, what strengths do you think have you noticed about your business, about the people that you have worked with? Tell us about strengths.
Danielle, you want me? Danielle?
Yeah.
Natalia, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Look, okay. So I want to say that being more comfortable behind the camera, because everybody was into this whole video thing and sharing for the most part and doing things at home to keep them busy. So being comfortable in your skin, being able to deliver what you're aiming to deliver, being received for who you are and how you're presenting, because people are very, very critical. And one of the things about me is I really don't care. Like at the end of the day, because I can't worry about them. I can't please everybody. People vibrate to you the way they vibrate to you. You can always just remain professional and do the best that you can and be the best version of yourself. So I would say a lot of videos. My videos I normally do are like the quick videos because I feel people have short attention spans. So you can't do a video quick. You know what I mean? When you're trying to teach them something. So I found a way that made me feel a little bit better, that people would pay attention to based on their what's the word? Their attention span, to still share my gift with everybody else. So it's more just having presence and knowing yourself and trusting yourself that you're going to deliver what you are passionate about, and it's going to come out the way it's going to come out, and you got to be happy with it.
Mhm.
I think you bring
And
up
people,
yeah, sorry, Jackie. You bring up a really good point about confidence and how important it is when you're a small business owner. You know, Natalia and I behind the scenes have talked a lot about confidence and how important it really is, because you are your brand. And Jackie, you and I have spoken about this too behind the scenes. Like, you are your brand. And if you're not confident, you know, I know one of the things that I have thought a lot about or read a lot about recently is this idea of imposter syndrome. Especially as a small business owner, you're like, oh, I don't know if I even know what the heck I'm talking about or how to do this thing that I'm now trying to sell to the world, right? And so I think confidence, you're bringing up a really good point, and not really caring, you know, not giving a shit about what other people are thinking. Because I think sometimes, you know, we're so much in our own head that we think somebody's thinking about us, but they're thinking about what they're going to have for dinner, how they're going to pay their bills. And, you know, so it's not always what we might be thinking. But Natalia, strengths for you, what have you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with the whole confidence thing. I think that for me personally, you know, as a designer, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades, you know, and if there's something that I don't know, I go ahead and I research it and I learn how to do it, or something that maybe I'm not so great at, I just figure it out pretty much. So always making sure that I can deliver to my client. And also being honest, if there's something I can't do, then I'll let my client know that I can't do it. And you're just making sure that I learn as much as possible about the company, you know, to make sure that I can deliver the best website possible for their needs, you know. So not only knowing about their business, but knowing, you know, what the purpose of the site is, who's their target audience, etc.
Thank you. Yeah, it's who the client is and really connecting with them, building relationship, which I think is really important as a business owner. So let's stay with this for a moment. Thinking about your clients, how do you show gratitude to your clients? Jackie, you want to start us off?
Giving them more than what they think they're going to receive. You know, with most florists, they calculate things by stems, the price by stems when they do a bouquet. So generally you'll see a lot of, here's floral 101. You'll see a lot of greens, and then you'll see a few stems of flowers. That's because everything is calculated per stem. When I started my business, I've never went off that philosophy. Because mostly I didn't have a storefront. So whatever flowers I bought, I would just give them all to my client. What's the sense of, you know, like saving it, just give it all to them. So it's just the abundance, it's the quality, it's the love that I put in there. I don't use average vessels and vases, you know, I like to give them some metallics, you know, and especially depending on how, I don't want to say nice, but how I really vibe with them, it gets even better. Because like I said, like this is something that I love and it's a passion, and I'm not going to lose, because at the end of the day, what you give is what you receive. And my job is to educate. My job is to influence them and say, oh, well, what kind of rose was this? And, you know, what type of flower was that? Because if you're not in that world, you don't know, you don't understand the whole element of the different type of blooms that are out there. So for me, yes, I do want to make a profit. Sometimes I have not, but I was okay with it because afterwards it was beautiful. And then I received referrals. So, you know, it's always going to be a win-win. What you put in is what you're going to get out of it. So everything is full with love and gratitude. Thank you for seeking out my services. Thank you for trusting me to deliver what you need, which is very, very important to me.
That's beautiful. I've been doing a couple of these leadership interviews, and service and love for others is something that has continued to come up. And yes, building relationship and connecting with people, especially when we're talking about leadership during a pandemic, when connection shifted, the way we were able to connect with one another has shifted over time. So yeah, thank you for making those points. That's really important. Natalia, what about you? How do you show gratitude to your clients?
Yeah, so I could definitely agree with everything that you said, Jacqueline. It's about giving 100% on the project, no matter the budget. Small businesses don't have a large budget, so you have to be really flexible. And sometimes you don't make a profit, as you mentioned, and that's okay. You have this passion. I have the services that I can offer, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I'm going to give my client what my client needs.
That's right.
Beautiful. So as we're talking about caring for others, what is your self-care routine? How do you show up for yourself as you show up for others, right? We talked a lot about that, but what does it look like when you're showing up for you?
Well, for me, I'm a huge incense woman. So I go to my Namaste store and I get my spiritual healing. I get my positive vibes. Generally, whenever I get home, I light them up. I woosah, I meditate in the morning. I've been really practicing doing that because sometimes when you have to make time for yourself, because so many people are taking from you without you really realizing it. They're taking the time and the energy. So, I definitely go get a mani-pedi, my hair, I do it all. I always make sure I make time for me, because if I don't, I can just be one grumpy monster, and I don't want to be that way. So I learned that I must take time, because people and things will just take time from you. So if you feel that, you got to learn how to kind of take out the background noise a little bit sometimes for yourself, whether you lock yourself in the bathroom and run a tub with some pedals or something like that, listen to some nice ambient music. You have to do it. You have to take time for yourself. Whatever it is that you find joy in. Yes. Is how you need to handle your self-care.
Yes. Great. Natalia, what about you?
Yeah, so for me, I would say, for my body, I enjoy and making sure I enjoy exercising, and daily I make sure that I get that exercise in, that I'm also eating right, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep. That's really important to me. I recently got a Fitbit, and it tracks everything, keeps me accountable. So just making sure that you have this routine in place so that you can, do all the things that you want to do, whether it's time for yourself, whether it's, exercising or eating right, or doing the things that you love and that brings you joy. Also, I would say for my mind, I like to unplug and go on a social media detox from time to time. Just get my mind from the screen. Yeah, just really connect with people. It frustrates me when I see, kids and teens glued to their phones, and we're all on our electronic devices. And I just feel like that's really unhealthy, and you should really connect with people. So I like to do that from time to time. And lastly, I'm just going to say, for the soul, I enjoy spending time in nature. I like to go on hikes, and I'll just give this out to everybody just because this is one of my favorite places to visit. It's called the Fall Trails at Wreckage State Park in PA. The trail has 21 waterfalls, and it's such a wonderful hike.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Great. We'll have to give that information out too.
Yes, honey. I need a trail to hike too. I'm gonna find me one waterfall. Just prop my butt right there. I just know myself. I love water, so that right there is just tranquil.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. That's really amazing. I would like for us to just take some time to really think about the challenges and the learnings that you've had over the past 15 months or so. What are some things that you can say? Well, Natalia, we'll start with you. Challenges and learnings over the past 15 months.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this, but I think confidence is a challenge and something that I've been, learning to deal with and grow, making sure that I communicate effectively, with my clients, getting to know their business. Those are just, a few that I feel like have been challenged these past few months.
So in terms of, thinking, I like to look at challenges as opportunities for growth. And so if there's one thing that you can say when you think about confidence and how you've grown, what is one thing that you can add there?
Well, I mean, definitely just starting this business, as I mentioned, like I had my degrees, but I wasn't using it but on the side or as a hobby, and during the pandemic, my confidence has grown to the point that I have these services that I should be offering, So, and to start this business, now is the perfect time. I got laid off. And so it was perfect timing just to push myself.
Great. Jackie, what about you? Challenges, learnings?
I want to say managing that damn social media. Let me tell you. Okay, so when you have a product, right? I never think of other people as competitors. I just feel that it's like one big family. Everybody has a different service, and their customer service is going to lead to their clientele. So with the social media, it's like you have to stay so much on top of it, and you have to really think strategically on the message that you attach with the photo. And, for me, I can do writing, I'm good with writing sometimes. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm just like, I just look at the picture and envision what I want to say. But it's very, very important to stay on top of it. Like I said, people have short attention spans, and you would be so surprised on how many people you inspire. And when I post my pictures, I've learned of how many people I inspire, because not only clients, but then I have students on there. And it's very important to show up for yourself in terms of, showing an image of you, giving them a message and letting them know you're human. And this is the passion. This is what you like doing, because a lot of people, they need that push. Even if they don't want to do something for themselves, you're sending light to them. So just staying on top of that and managing it is, it can be very challenging. And then, for most part, I will have somebody manage that aspect, which is a ton of money. But then you have to, set up your store. And, when people see certain things, they want to purchase this from you. And you have to have it available to them, because everybody's all for the click. So it has to be easy. It's just like when you go shopping and, you have to click too much, you're turned off. So it's just like really branding your business, marketing your business, and staying on top of it, because there are people watching on a consistent basis, and you never really think about it. But, you'll see your followers go up and down, because people are so heavy on it. So, I found that to be a challenge, and I work on it the best as I can, but I really like to share, and it's very important sometimes, because there's certain products, and it's another gateway for you to get business outside of your website. Because sometimes I get DMs, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Because depending on what you have available, you're like, okay, let me follow up. Let me grab them while you can, So it's very important to stay on top of the social media if you're going to push your business out there, because you can definitely get business. And it keeps you in line too, because it keeps you targeted to what your main goal is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I find social media also challenging as a small business owner, and thankfully Natalia has helped me many times with the different posts and things like that, and what it looks like, and creating the post for me many times. So I'm grateful for Natalia. Jackie, what would you say, one learning or takeaway that you have had over the past 15 months during the pandemic?
Not to be, I want to say just not to be afraid of being yourself and a representation of your brand. You're going to have different type of people that are going to be attracted to you for many different reasons. And, you just got to be the best version of yourself and not really worry about it. I have different type of clientele, and I started work in corporate. So, they have like this, mask that they put on, and, everybody is like passive aggressive. And I said, you know what? This is why I work for myself. So this is what you see is what you get. So I constantly remind myself not to worry about it, in terms of just representing myself and representing my brand. And because I'm proud of who I am and I'm happy with who I am, and I'm always learning, you know what I mean? Because that's what life is about. But definitely being the best version of myself and being myself. Because I'm not, some people are really good with doing the whole phony thing, and that's something I haven't ever been able to do. I have to think about that too much. And some people, it's like an art for them. So all I can do is be myself.
Yeah, for sure. It's too hard to be anybody else, right? It's like be who you are, and that's it. And I think the other thing that you're saying that really resonates with me is, as a small business owner, I think there is enough to go around, right? The competition, or the competition, it's like, I want to be a better person tomorrow than I am today. And so I'm in competition with myself. And I also believe that when you have a small business, even if it's very similar to someone else's, you bring something to the work that's different than the other person, and so there, throughout this time, like, I've noticed that, there are haters out there. I mean, there to be honest and real in
yes.
the moment. But it's like, there's enough to go around. We don't need to, don't worry about what I'm doing over here, because I have a different way of doing it than you. And so I think that's something that is important for us to mention. And so the other thing that I want us to just think about and talk about a little bit is post-pandemic. What changes do you envision in your small business post-pandemic? Natalia, why don't you start us off?
Let me think about that. Well, post-pandemic, I want my company to grow and flourish, just like I've helped other small businesses do. I think for me, I need to really concentrate on getting more clients. I was fortunate enough during the pandemic to grow by word of mouth. My clients were very happy with my services. And so I was able to get clients, like I said, through word of mouth. And so now I just need to focus on getting clients by other means. And just really growing my business.
Yeah, great. Jackie, what about you?
For me, of course, more business. I wanted to ultimately get my own flower box, different products that can be accessible to clients in terms of price points. And the world is opening up. So there's so many different opportunities out there. It's just like tapping into the frequency I need to be on to achieve what I need to be, just to make sure that I touch lives and just be the best and global.
Jackie, you mentioned Flower Box. Can you speak to that a little bit?
So you know how they have the 1-800-Flowers, and then they have, like, I think that some people, and this was my thing about it, that, you have to deal with a it's not like a warehouse, but it's somewhere where they like stock all the flowers. So when they manufacture, you know, you have people just putting things in the boxes, you know, flowers in the boxes, and some things get delivered, some things don't. I wanted to have my own where I'm able to oversee it in a way that I know what my clients are receiving and having somewhat of a control over certain things. So it's going to be more of an a la carte type of service that I can definitely foresee with my brand and everything on there. I just have to figure out a way to do that, because, you know, when you have people that work in different industries, you know, it's just a job to them. And then you have some people that are passionate, so you're going to get a different type of delivery. During the pandemic, a lot of florists were coming out with their flower boxes because, like I said, the price point from the grocery store is going to be different from the flower shop. So I wanted to figure out, and then most of the flowers that are really amazing come from Holland, which is a different price point. So that's something that I'm working on. So not only having a flower box, but I have to find something else special that's going to be included in there that most people are not doing. So that's what I'm trying to tap into right now.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you both so much for being here and sharing your wisdom with us. If there was one word that would describe your core value, when you think about your business and there's a core value, and I mean, you can say 3 words, but tell us one thing that if someone comes to work with you, what would you say your core value is?
Love.
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
Love.
Yeah. What about you, Natalia?
I would say custom design.
Yeah.
Really giving something to the client that's unique. It's not a template, you know, something that's customized just for their business.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, one more time. How can people find you, Natalia? Start us off. How can people find you?
Yes, I can be reached at my website, www.nataliagomez-creative.com.
Wonderful. Jackie, what about you?
For me, I also have a website, www.stellarstyleevents.com. I also have an Instagram page you can follow under Stellar Style Events.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you again, both of you. And my name is Danielle Kilcullen. I can be found on Instagram, Facebook, a number of places, here on YouTube. But my website is www.exploringthewonderyears.com. And again, thank you both. Please stay with me. Don't go anywhere. But thank you all for watching. And look in the comments section or the description section on the YouTube channel so you can get details about where to find Natalia and Jackie. Thank you all for watching.